Hi, it's Young Today I want to discuss generational trauma. Some Korean adoptees were adopted into second families that should not have been approved to adopt a child, and even less so to adopt a transracial child from another culture. I'm not talking about a situation where one of the parents gets stressed out easily. That is human. I'm talking about situations where the adopted child is severely neglected and abused. Situations where the adopted child is treated like a servant to everyone in the house. Burned, left out in the cold without clothing, kept in a room or a closet, food is withheld, or the child is prostituted for drugs or money. They seem like pretty severe scenarios, but unfortunately, they are more common than many people want to acknowledge. My adoptive parents were influenced by all the media coverage of the Vietnam War. They decided that providing a home for a child in need was more important than adding another new child to the populace. They wanted a Vietnamese girl around the age of 3 or 4. It turns out that the adoption process was not yet well established in Vietnam, so my parents were redirected toward adopting from Korea. On a side note, I think it's a little odd for parents to want a child from a specific culture, and then when such a child is not available, to so easily go with a substitute from a different culture. It makes me question the motivation behind their desire to adopt. This brings me to the overarching topic of today's video, which is concern about why parents of one race want to adopt a child of another race, the criteria by which potential adoptive parents are deemed suitable, and to what degree the mental, emotional competency of parents who wish to adopt a transracial, transcultural child. There are many ways in which I was not prepared for life, from practical tasks such as doing laundry, balancing a checkbook, cooking, maintaining a car, dealing with identity theft, etc., to more complex life skills such as being appropriately assertive, dealing with death, and specifically handling a relative's final wishes, regulating one's emotions, being less reactive, balancing responsibilities, self-care, handling difficult issues in the workplace, relationships, dealing with stress, learning effective coping skills, handling mental illness, how to raise a child, and so forth. There were and still are so many issues I've had to learn on my own, often by trial and error, and often involving a life lesson learned the hard way. What I don't understand is that my adoptive parents had the intelligence, education, resources to be good parents, but they were so bogged down in figuring out their own lives, most likely because their parents were deficient as well, and perhaps even their parents' parents. This is what is known as generational trauma, where problems are not handled and dysfunction carries over to the next generation. This used to make me very angry. Why wasn't I valued enough by my adoptive parents for them to do the work necessary to get their lives together and raise me well? I am aware of and sensitive to not allowing such issues to roll over onto my children. I love them and they are my responsibility, and I owe it to them to do better than my own adoptive parents did with me. My children are so worthy of all the love, hard work, and change I've had to learn every step of the way, often without role models or mentors to help guide me or to consult with. It's been challenging and at times difficult to be the parent to my children that I should have had. I regularly juggle teaching myself how to grow up and be an adult while simultaneously teaching myself how to be a good parent. I've done a lot of reading and I've initiated and participated in many years of therapy. It has not been an easy road. I regularly find myself unprepared for new and seemingly simple situations because I lack the experience and support I should have gotten when I was growing up. A simple example would be baking Christmas cookies with my children. I wanted to create a memorable tradition. I looked carefully for the right cookie and icing recipes and got many types of sprinkles and other candy decorations. Just making the cookies was stressful as I had never been taught how to make them during my childhood. I experienced a good deal of anxiety trying to do things correctly while controlling the situation and trying to make sure my children were having fun. I broke down a little and got tearful. I explained to my children that this was new territory for me and asked for their understanding as I made efforts to gradually get it all right. This probably seems like a minor occurrence, but such experiences impact many aspects of my life. I must make a conscious effort to make joy a priority amidst lacking confidence and living with a harsh inner critic. I understand that life is challenging for everyone and that I'm very fortunate to have the life I have. I do want to give some attention to struggles specific to my situation that were avoidable, unnecessary, and very relevant to adoption issues of identity, love, self-love, encouragement, affection, support, and stability. Just as not everyone should be a parent, not everyone should be allowed to adopt. The process by which a person can become an adoptive parent should be stringent, transparent, and well monitored. All children are precious. It's important to equip them with the necessary skills and tools needed to become compassionate, productive citizens who add value to society. Thank you for listening.